few years ago, the Oxford Dictionary's word of the year was post-truth. Post-truth is the idea that a society is no longer governed by objective facts or truth, but in fact influenced by more subjective things, personal belief, even emotion or fake news. For example, Donald Trump once claimed that the crowds at his inauguration address were the largest ever seen in US history. Now, it wasn't true, but when Trump and his advisors were challenged, one of his advisors said that they were simply offering alternative facts. Alternative facts. A post-truth world, who is to say what is true? But the message of Christmas is a message of truth, of a claim of truth, of promises being kept, of someone's word being taken and promises being kept. The angel, when the angel announces the birth of Jesus, says this. Luke 1:72. The birth of Jesus was to show mercy to our ancestors and to remember his holy covenant, the oath he swore to our father Abraham. You see, there's no fake news when it comes to God, no alternative facts that he offers. God made a promise thousands of years before Jesus, a promise to Abraham that one day someone would come from Abraham's family who would be a blessing to the whole world, who would put everything right again. God made that promise 2,000 years before Jesus came into the world at that first Christmas. It took 2,000 years. It may have seemed to some like God wasn't keeping his promises. That perhaps God had gone back on his word, that maybe he was offering fake news to his people. But nothing could be further from the truth. God was keeping his promise. He sent his son into the world to keep the promise that he'd made to Abraham thousands of years earlier. And so, when we look at the babe in the manger, when we think of the Christmas story, we are to think of promises being kept. We are to think of God being faithful to his word. You see, when it comes to God, there's no fake news. Instead, a faithful God who keeps his promises.